Flosstube. It is Friday the 2nd of September. Thought I'd do an update. I think I'm going to try and do them more. If I've got a lot to show, I'm going to do them weekly. If I haven't got as much to show, I'm going to try and do them fortnightly, just to... I always feel like I haven't got much to talk about and then it's like half an hour. So anyway, welcome. It's nearly the weekend. Yay. I don't know why I say that, because every day is the same to me. Right, what I've worked on. I'm going to wrap up August. I think I spoke to you just over a week ago, so what have I worked on? I've got notes. I've took proper notes. Oh, I'm going to do the Talia's WIP tag at the end. So I was getting itchy here. Right, this week's been a very exciting week. I started Big Red Ship. I've got you balanced on a piece of wood today, so I'm hoping you don't fall off. So, Big Red Ship. I started it on last Sunday. Put that away. And I've worked on it every evening. Have I worked on it every evening? Yes, I've worked on it every evening. So we're day 5. So this is where I've got. It is so much fun. I'm really, really pleased. That's looking a bit dark on there, isn't it? But it's DMC 815. And the fabric is 18 count Rustico. But this, oh, I just put it away. Every time I look at the pattern, I spot something else on there. I'm still really excited with it. And so many other people started it as well this week. Emily C and Sarah, Abby started it a while ago. Tracy, Ali's doing it as well. And everyone is doing something different. Emily's doing all different colours. Can't wait to see that. For August, oh, I made a thing. I worked on Old World Map, was my August Haid. I made a scroll bag in matte fabric. Really, really chuffed with that. So you know I always do something wrong. I did a drawstring top, and somehow my drawstring ended up on the middle, on the inside, and I think it should come out on the outside, but it comes out on the inside. But I'm going to make another one. I've got 3 scroll rods, so I'm going to make another one. I'm really chuffed with that. I find it hard when something is inside out, when you're sewing it together, to then picture how it should be when it's the right way, and I always end up with things on the inside. So because this is going away for, I don't normally like taking them off the frames, but because it's going away for a month, I want to keep it clean. So I got quite a lot done on this month. So I used it for the weekend rush last week and did that other page. I didn't start the page for the weekend, I was about halfway down, but how many stitches did I do for the weekend rush? 2,914. So that's looking really good. I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased with that. It's so big. Oh. So I'm just going to pop this back in there. This was fabric left over. I made a patchwork quilt for my son last year, and some of it was that matte fabric and some of it was New York with the taxes. I made it a bit bigger this because the more I stitch on it, I think the more bulkier it's going to get. So, but I can still use the drawstring even if it's on the inside. So that is that. Quite pleased with myself for that. What else did I work on? I started Ex-Machina this week. Oh, that's the old world map. I know you've seen it. So I'm here. So just getting to the juicy bits. Ex-Machina. I haven't done a lot yet, but this is out for the month, and I'm going to use it for the 2 weekend rushes. So I think I've done 1 row of 10, and I'm just doing the second row of 10. So I'm hoping to finish this page, and then I'll go back over to that side for September, where there's not much confetti on the other side because there's a lot of black. But I call that my 50 Shades of Poo, because it's 50 shades of browns. But the next row down, we'll see her face appear more and the start of her hair coming down. So that is that. And then yesterday, the 1st of September, there were 3 stitch alongs that started yesterday. The 2 were in Stitch Mania, and it was the 1-day one was Catch the Hogwarts Express, obviously back to school, and the second one is World of Pure Imagination. So, oh, and the third one is Cross Stitch It's Fun Fantasy Stitch Along. So I'm not going to take it off the snap because it's quite hard, but I've done a few bits. I think I did Scabbers. I did Obscuro for the letter C, stitch along in cross stitch finish line, and I've just finished Luna. I think that's Neville. I think Cho is next, but there's Bertie Bott's things and stuff coming down there. So this, for the Stitch Mania monthly stitch along, World of Pure Imagination, I'm going to do a week on this, a week on Big Red Ship, a week on this, and a week on Big Red Ship. That is my plan for that. What else? Oh, I have a finish. I have a finish. So it's Cloud's Factory. I'm actually a mermaid. That giant Harry Potter, by the way, is stitched on 16 count Ada. So that's the only, because normally when I stitch something, it's either for a present or I've stitched it purposely because I can see a spot for it in my house. The giant Harry Potter is the only piece I'm stitching that I don't know what it's going to be for. I was thinking of doing it into a wall hanging, but I'm worried about it getting really dusty. So I'm going to have to think about that, because it's a whopper to frame, isn't it? So here is my finish. Let me put that behind it. I'm actually a mermaid. I decided not to put all the little extra bubbles in because, like you see, you can see some of them, but you can't see a lot of them, so I didn't put them all in. Probably should have needed a darker blue fabric, but that's stitched on 28 count Lugana. I think it's Poseidon, yeah, because it's the other half of the Goonies fabric. And that is from Chromatic Alchemy. Hi Jared.
Hi.
Jared's just got up. He's having a nice lie-in for your last few days off school, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just needs ironing, and
I might play FIFA 16 later.
you're going to play FIFA 16?
Till FIFA 17 comes out.
Oh yeah, November, isn't it?
What was September?
Oh, is it September?
September 27th, I think.
Good job, you've got some birthday money left then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just needs ironing and framing, and that's for my daughter. So, but it's just for my daughter. It's not for Christmas or anything like that. It's just because I'm a kind mum like that. Oh, I'm erring a lot. 5th of September in Cross Stitch Finish Line is the magazine book stitch along. So I'm going to get this one back out. Heart and Home from Cross Stitcher 2016. It's the one with it's actually on the cover. I don't think I've done any more on this, so that's where I'm at there. So hopefully get a good chunk done that day. That's on the 5th. And then the 24th in Stitch Mania is the colour a day and it's orange, so I'm going to work on that as well for that. Is that all the stitch alongs? Cross Stitch Finish Line, the 26th is the letter D, so that will be possibly Giant Harry Potter. Is there a spell with D in it? Where I am? Reducto, so that will be letter D. I don't know if I'm repeating myself, I don't know if I said this in my last video. And then the 9th to the 11th and the 23rd to the 25th is the Weekend Rush number 5 and 6, so Ex-Machina will, that's out for the month now, so I'll use it. I find it easier to count the stitches on the Haid because it's harder to count the stitches, isn't it, when it's all a bit spaced out. I have lots of plans. I've signed up to more stitch alongs for 2017. I'm doing the year of starts. I know. But it's one a month. On the 17th of every month is a new start. I've been having, like, you know when you have an argument with yourself? So I've been doing that. And I've been arguing. My one argument is, well, you might as well start it rather it be sat in a drawer. You've got it in your house anyway. What's the do in starting it, and rather than having it sit in a box or something? So that's my argument for starting. Cause it's here, so why not start it? I like stitching it. I've only picked projects that I really love or want to stitch. So, and then I argue with myself when I look at it all and think, well, why are you buying it in the first place to put in the box? But anyway, I'm not going to stress. They'll get work done when they get work done. I'm not in any rush, unless it's a present. I haven't got that many planned, really. So I'm just going to stitch all the things. And there's loads more stitch alongs because they've added a few as well. I didn't sign up for the 12 days of Stitchmas, but now I have because I've ordered a Lizzie Kate 12 days Christmas chart for that. So I've been kitting up stuff. I have a plan for 2017. I've gone through my WIPs. I meant to double check my cross stitch app before I started filming, but I've gone through my WIPs and there are 14, I think. And I've ordered a bit of fabric and some threads and I think just the one chart and some seed beads and some krennic, and I've kitted up, I'm kitting up quite a few things. So I think I have possibly 6 or 8 kitted ready to go for some stitch alongs. They're what I plan to do anyway, so I might as well start them. Use the stitch alongs. They're brilliant for getting the progress, aren't they? Just pulling them out. And I plan to do a stitch from stash 2017. You heard it here first. I'm not saying never say never or whatever the thing is, you know. What's the thing? You know, I can't promise, but that's my plan. So I'm thinking if between now and December I kit up all what I plan to do next year, and I haven't got to buy loads, I'm pulling from stash for threads. I've got bits of fabric. I've ordered quite a bit of 18 count white, just normal, because there's a few designs that will go on there. And yeah, that's my plan. Stitch from stash. I have a bit of haul. So my fabric of the month came from Chromatic Alchemy. Did it come? No. Didn't come before my last video. So this is I don't know how you say it. It's 28 count Lugana, and is it Realgar? Realgar, I think. Anyway, it's quite a nice orange. I don't know what I'll stitch on that. I did look at some Mirabilias and I thought I don't really want to start another Mirabilia yet. I've been going through my magazines as well. I have loads of charts. So I think Stitch from Stash is doable in terms of what I have. It's whether it's doable with my head. So that's my fabric. I had a bit of a bargain. Joe Knit Maze, cross-stitched £1.50, hardback. So I plan to do one in here. Which one was it? I've kitted it up. I have fabric from Stash and I have threads, and I've just done an order on Lakeside Needlecraft for some threads. I'm not going to go through the whole book because loads of you have it and you all know what's in there. I've ordered some spare threads for what I need just to finish kitting up the last few things. And I've ordered some beads for a couple of projects that I'll show you next month. And some Chronic. I'm going to do the Lovable Baby. I was surprised actually because they're not that big, these charts, are they, in there? So I like that book. I don't normally do animals, but I like that book. And then my first subscription issue came for Cross Stitch Gold. Oh God, I'm in love with that Santa. I'm in love with that Santa. I thought about kitting him up, but because it's a Joan Elliott and I haven't done a Joan Elliott, and I've kitted an old one up instead from an old magazine. So I think this is, and that's for, I think there's quite a few in Stitch Mania next year. There's quite a few excuse me, Tour de Designers stitch alongs, and one of them's a Joan Elliott, so I'll show you when I do my plans. But there's a few Christmassy ones in here. There's a partridge in a pear tree. That's quite nice. And I don't really like that one. I'm not a this is going to sound really bad, but that's quite nice. I wouldn't stitch it though. That's Doreen Jones. Not really a fan of her stuff. I love watching all of you do the fantasy stitch along. Is that what it's called? The Lakeside Needlecraft Fantasy Stitch Along. It's not something I would do, but I do love looking at everybody else's. It's just, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I wouldn't hang it. I can't see it up in my house. I think everybody has their own aesthetic, don't they? Poinsettia cushion. That's quite nice. So there's some nice stuff coming next time, which I'm going to do. There's that tree. I really like that, and she's quite nice as well. So I think that's out in October. There's little cards. I don't really make little cards. I think I prefer big stuff. It seems I prefer big stuff. Don't mind the odd little one. Right. So those are my plans. Those are my plans. Yes. I'm going to do a tag. So Talia from Covered in Cat Hair, I will link her channel down below. She's done the WIP tag, so I'm going to do that. I feel like I forgot to tell you something. Question 1. When it comes to putting a project together, do you start with the pattern or the fabric? Usually I start with the pattern and then I see what floss I've got. Unless something, like when I get my fabric of the month, I'll start with the fabric because I see the fabric and I think, oh, what can I stitch on that? And then find a pattern to fit the colour, style, whatever. So, but normally it's the pattern first and then choose fabric to go with that. So, question 2. Do you ever find yourself limiting or denying yourself new starts because of your current number of WIPs? Sometimes. And then I have these little arguments with myself. And it depends what frame of mind you're in, doesn't it? If you're feeling like, because Stitch Mania totally, as much as I love doing it, totally overwhelmed me afterwards. But starting these new things and planning and kitting up these new things is not overwhelming me. So I'm not quite sure about that. But sometimes I limit myself because I think, well, I must finish that first or work on some of these things. And then other times I think, oh, just do it. Question 3. Is there a designer or style of pattern that you love the designs but hate the process of stitching on them? That's a tough one, that, isn't it? I think possibly at the moment in my time of stitching, I think it's a Mirabilia. But I've only done one, so it was a learning curve, wasn't it? I loved the cross stitching part of it. I didn't enjoy the beading because I had the back stitching because I had trouble getting the shape. But I've learnt, now I know for next time it should be easier. And I struggled with the beading. But it's a learning curve. So at the moment, because I've only done one and I struggled with it, I would say a Mirabilia. I think they're absolutely stunning, and I was, funnily enough, looking at them all last night, thinking of choosing one, and then decided against it for now. Everybody that stitches them, it makes me want them. So I'd have to say at the moment, due to my inexperience with the first one, I'd have to say Mirabilia. Now, question 4. What do you use, if anything, to keep track of your current WIPs and or future starts? I have a journal, which I put my daily stitching in of what I'm working on, but all my WIPs, kitted up starts and finishes are all listed on my cross stitch app, which I can't show you because it's on my phone. I'm filming on my phone. And I try and update that every couple of weeks, and well, depending what I've bought or finished or ready to start. So that's all on my cross stitch app. And future starts as well are also listed in my new Stitch Along journal, which is good because I keep forgetting what I'm planning. Question 5. Oh, this is a brilliant question. If you could steal any Flosstuber's current WIP or past project, which one would it be and why? I thought about this question before filming, and it's a really good question because we all cover everybody else's things, don't we? But at this moment in time, I would have to say it's the patchwork Santa that Ali is doing from Ali's Stitching Studio. I think it's not called Patchwork Santa. Christmas Patches. She's stitching that, and she gets it out every now and again and does a bit on it, and that would be the one I would steal. And I think because we have similar tastes, I think, Ali and I, but because I like to do quilting as well and just all the patchwork effect of it, and yeah, at this moment in time it would be Christmas Patches. I think that's what it's called. So that is it. I am waiting, like I said, I'm waiting for some haul. Oh, so exciting. I've won Adele's giveaway. Adele's giveaway. I'm so excited. If you could have seen me trying to enter, I almost gave up. And I cannot believe I've won, and it's the best prize. That is definitely going into something either before Christmas or one of the starts for next year, because they're doing all the full coverage stitch alongs as well, aren't they, next year? The 5th of every month is full coverage on the 5th. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Adele. It's such a beautiful prize. She said it might come today, so I'm going to stalk the postman. Right, if you've not had enough of me, I would like to make an announcement. I have gone over 1,000 subscribers. I just cannot believe it. I actually cannot believe it. I look back, when I did the behind the scenes tag, I thought my first video was January, but it wasn't, it was February. I looked back yesterday. So in 6 or 7 months, I just cannot believe it. I thought I'd get like maybe 100 or 150. I've watched all you people for so long and just admire all what you do, everything you stitch. And I can't believe, this is going to sound really big-headed, I can't believe that people think the same about me. It's quite surreal. It's really good. Anyway, I'm going to do a giveaway. So I was trying to think of a question for you to answer. I'm just being a sheep and copying everybody else, but I'm trying to think of a question for everybody to answer that not everybody else hasn't done. And I still can't think of one. So I'll show you my goodies. I hope you don't think this is a naff giveaway. So there's some charts and a bit of fabric and some stuff. So I mean, these are charts that I've stitched and I won't stitch again. And they're all in pristine condition. So the first one is Mirabilia and it's Petal Fairy. This is sort of my virgin Mirabilia because it's the first one I tried. And she's up on my wall and she's beautiful. The only mark on this chart is where I wrote a different thread number because that one was, it's either discontinued or retired. So I wrote the, possibly, I wrote the thing, but I think it's in pencil. But the chart is not marked because I make a working copy. So that's the first chart. The second chart is Lizzie Kate, my to-do list. I've done that twice now, I won't do it again. It's lovely to stitch and you can change all the colours. What you need is on the back. Again, that is not marked at all. The third one is Home of a Needleworker from Little House Needlecrafts. So that's that one. I have to show you this that I have written. I wrote all my notes on that bit there. So I wrote my colour changes and the fabric I used and the size. Because I don't know why I did that, but I did that. So but the chart is completely pristine. The chart is completely unmarked. That is written on there. So I thought I'd better show you that. And then the last chart is Jardin Privé, Alice in Wonderland. And that hasn't been marked at all. I don't write on the chart if I'm going to use it. There's some fabric. So this one is, I think it's 28 count. But it's, can you see the sparkle? But it's quite dark for me and I don't think I will stitch on it. So it's a piece of fabric that is approximately 18 inches by 13 inches. Like I say, I think it's 28 count. The other fabric is 28 count Lugana and it's feldspar and it's like a mottled brown. I've cut this because I've used some of it, but this piece is 15 inches by 18 inches. So it's definitely usable for, you know, it's not just, I say, I hope you don't think my giveaway's naff. You're just getting all my hammer downs. So those are the 2 pieces of fabric. So it's 4 charts, 2 pieces of fabric, and then there's some hand-dyed threads. So the first one is Emerald, Weeks Dye Works. These haven't been used at all. Strawberry Fields, and this is a variegated cyclamen, so it's purple and lilac. Can you see that? Those 3, and then I have some plastic bobbins on a ring, and I'm also going to make something for the lucky or unlucky winner. So that is my giveaway. There's housekeeping to do, isn't there? So you have to be over 18 or get parents' permission to give out your address if you happen to win. You have to be a subscriber. Is that it? See, this was, I thought I'd do like weekly or 2 weekly videos and do really quick ones, but it's 30 minutes already. Oh, closing date. I'm going to keep it open until, let me just get my diary, because I'm going to, so it's the 2nd today, so I'm going to do 2 weeks. So 1, 2. So I'm going to draw it on, is 2 weeks enough? Yeah, because that weekend's, I'm going to draw it on Friday the 16th of September. Yeah, let me write that down. So, giveaway closes, do drawing. So Friday the 16th of September, so that gives you 2 weeks. So I think that would be enough. Sorry if you're really, really behind and it's not going to be enough. So I need you to answer a question. But I don't know. Like my mug. It says so little time, so much to do. That's so right, isn't it, for stitches? Just tell me what your favourite designer is. Yeah. I was trying to think of like a really original, funny question, but I have no vision and I have no imagination. So tell me what your favourite designer is, and I will enter you into the drawing, and I will draw it on Friday the 16th of September, which is 2 weeks today. I hope I haven't forgotten any. There's no legal stuff, is there? No. And I will be back in 2 weeks. So have a fab weekend. I hope everybody that's going back to school next week has a great time. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you again so much to everyone that subscribed. I'm still like, I can't believe it. I really, really can't believe it. But I love you all very, very much. Keep making videos because you just keep me so entertained. So I never want to say goodbye. It's really hard saying goodbye. I'm going now. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.